guys! So the time has finally come to say goodbye to my loyal companion of the past year, my 2016 Hobonichi Weeks, and to start to make friends with my new 2017 Weeks. So the weeks actually doesn't end until the end of December, but because the new one starts the first week of December, I couldn't resist and I just really wanted to move into it. So I'll do a flip through of my completed 2016 weeks soon, but in the meantime, I wanted to show you what my initial setup of the new friend looks like. So this is my Cadenette Notebooks vegan leather turquoise color weeks cover, which is just fantastic and I love it. So if you open it up, so you can see here, I use this as my wallet as well. That hasn't changed. That's been the same for the past probably maybe nearly a year. So I've got my debit card, some stamps, my credit card, and a co-op loyalty card in here. And then this is my new 2017 weeks. It's the Daydream cover. I did a review on this when I first got it. I'll link that down below. It's so colorful and rainbowical and happy that it just always makes me smile whenever I see it. I was kind of torn. Actually, I was really torn between this and my other weeks. The Chi one, this is available from Amazon Japan, and I did a review on this as well. And I just couldn't decide between the two of them which one I wanted to use as my personal planner. And finally, I went for this one just because it's so colorful. And this is going to be a kind of self-care, happy things planner. So just to show you the rest of what I've got in here, this is my wallet. This is from Lyra & Co. It's a Lyra Dory wallet insert that's specially designed to fit the weeks, and I absolutely love that as well. And it's got all of my other cards and like coins and cash in it. And then I have two of the weeks notebooks in here. One of them I use for keeping all of my information that I like to transfer from year to year, like passwords and bank account information and stuff like that. And then the other one, this one, I use as a kind of spare daily planner for when I'm on the go. So like, for example, today I was out and I don't bring my daily planner with me when I'm out because, you know, carrying three planners around would be excessive even for me. And sometimes I just get really stressed and want to have like a kind of list of everything that I have to do so that I don't feel overwhelmed, as you know if you've heard me talk about my daily planner. And so I just keep this notebook in here for occasions like that when I don't have my daily planner with me. I can use it in the same way. And then in the back here I just have some sticky notes. And in the pen loop I have my trusty Pilot Decimo, which is what I always use with my weeks. So now on to the initial setup of the week. So I started copying over information from here yesterday in anticipation of this glorious and momentous occasion. So I've pretty much got a good idea, I think, from a lot of experimentation over the course of 2016 of how I want to use this, and I'm hoping that I can keep it uniform throughout the year because I really like the idea of having a planner that just looks consistent throughout the year. I've managed to do that with my Hobonichi Cousin, my work planner. After a lot of experimenting in 2016, it's kind of all looked pretty even, and so I'm hoping to do the same with my weeks now that I'm going to the second year of using one. So first of all, I've got my dashboard, and so I have my elephant postman, which I've had in various different planners for the past couple of years, so a lot of you are probably familiar with him, and I transferred this over from my 2016 weeks, and it's just held in with washi tape. So the elephant postman is a postcard that I got from Paper Chase, and I love it because it just makes me think of happy mail. So the elephant postman is delivering some happy planner mail, and that always just makes me really happy. And then I have this sticky note, which these are some of my favorite sticky notes, and it's got today's to-do list, which I saw on Instagram, and it just made me really happy, and I thought that's the sort of thing that should go in my planner. So I'll just hold it up here so you can see what it says. So if that's a bit blurry, it's today's to-do list: smile, don't sweat the small stuff, think positive, inspire, love, be grateful, and be happy. So these are things that I always have to remind myself to do on a daily basis. So I thought that it would be good to have it here. And then this is a note that James wrote me when he got a typewriter. So there it is, 2017 Hobonichi Weeks. I'm so excited. So this I'm planning to use for a very specific purpose, which I started to use in September 2016, and that's just to mark when I have to refill my fountain pen, because I'd like to have an idea of, kind of like roughly how long the ink lasts, so that I can predict when it's going to be running low and maybe refill it in case I'm going to be away from home. Because it once happened when I went on a trip a few months ago that I got stranded without any ink in my fountain pen, and it was a very traumatic experience, as you can well imagine. Then this is kind of an oddity with the weeks, that the actual planner itself starts at the end of November, but this vertical yearly layout doesn't start until January, which makes sense because it's a 2017 planner. So I use this for tracking various things, and I'm not going to be able to use it until January. So instead, I think I'm going to track those things here. I haven't set it up yet because I haven't decided whether I'm going to put it here on the side or just put it in the monthly boxes. And what I'm going to use this for is tracking my bank balance and also putting in personal expenses. So I'm not doing a complete expense tracking system at the moment. I have done that before and it was quite good, but it's also a little bit more time consuming than I feel like doing at the moment. So I'm just tracking basically planner expenses and like things that I buy that I don't really need, because I think, necessities are, at the moment, I just feel like I don't need to track those because I'll have to spend the money on them anyway. So it's really unnecessary, like, planner things that I should be tracking. So I'll put them in here as well, and then I'll put my online orders down here. So I've just got this bookmark in here at the moment. Last year, I cut off the bookmarks. Well, actually, I used the bookmarks to attach some charms to, and then at some point in the year, I decided the charms were too heavy, and so I cut off the bookmark at the top. So I didn't have the bookmarks all year, which is why I was using these tabs. This year I've decided to keep the bookmarks because I've kind of come around to the idea that they're probably quite useful to have. So I've got this one in the monthly spread, and then I have this one in the weekly spread. So this is the first week, and I've decided to go for the ink only look, not just one color of ink, just it's green. And so I'm going to try to use the green ink for the whole year because I've got purple ink in my other planner. So I thought green will go in this, and I want to keep it looking really, really uniform. So we'll see how long that lasts. But as you'll see when I do the flip through of my 2016 weeks, this is all over the place. I was experimenting throughout the year, and I have highlighters, and I have colored pencils, and I have different ink colors, and then I had marker pens, and it's kind of a mess. Although in a way it's sort of nice, I guess, because it kind of documents my year as it happened. But this year I'd like it to just be nice and clean and all look the same. So on the left-hand side, I am going to write in my appointments and events, and I use a circle to indicate an appointment, and I use a triangle to indicate something that just happens on that day, but that I don't have to do anything for. So for example, Wednesday is payday, yay! So that's a triangle because I don't have to do anything, it will just happen, but I'd like to know that it's happening. And then on the right, I'm using this as my to-do list, and I divide it by day, but I've decided to try going really minimalist and not put lines to mark one day from the next, because the more stuff I draw in myself, the more scope there is for things to go wrong and look messy, because I just seem to be incapable of drawing straight lines, even if they're quite small. And I've tried using a ruler, but the ruler with the fountain pen always smudges, so I'm not going to do that again. And so I'm just putting in, as you can see here, I've put in the first box on either side. I divide it into two columns. And I just do that kind of estimating by sight. So it's not scientific. I haven't counted out, like, how many squares and divided in the middle. So I put two boxes at the beginning of each day, so that will sort of guide me, so I can see that's where the new day starts. And then I'll add more boxes throughout the day as I need to. So you can see Monday's already filled up. That's tomorrow. And then, despite the fact that they've spread the quotes over both sides of the page, depending on how big the quote is, in some weeks there is actually still quite a lot of space. So I'm just using the space, I'll use the free space on each side at the bottom even though it's not specifically meant for that now, to put extra things that don't belong on a specific day. Or like, for example, here, I'm going to the shop tomorrow, so I've just written down the things that I need there because I didn't want to put them in the event side in case an event comes up tomorrow. I think I mentioned this before. This is only my personal planner. I mean, those of you who've seen my other videos will already know this. This is not my work planner, so I just put everything in here that is not to do with work. So this is something I'm experimenting with for the first time, is using one of these elastic page markers that Hobonichi just came out with this year. I've had this for a while, but I haven't been able to use it with my 2016 planner because it's designed to go in the plastic pocket that you get that fits into the back, and in 2016 I put it on the other side, so I couldn't use it because it only works if it's on this side, and then you like kind of put the elastic over like this and it holds open to whatever page you want. So I thought I'd use this with the week as an extra kind of thing so that I can just really easily open to it. So the bookmark is a little bit redundant, but I'm not sure how this will go because, as you can see in a minute, so first of all, if you want to write something in a subsequent week, you have to take it off, and I don't know how easy that will be. And then, as you know, if you're familiar with the weeks, it's got this glorious 72-page section here of gridded notepaper at the back, which I think is what really sets it apart from other planners of the same size. So once you finish your weekly spreads, we go over here and it's got an index page. So I've already set this up with all of the collections or lists that I decided that I wanted from, again, a year of experimenting with this, with the very messy notes pages, and I kind of had, mapped out at the beginning of the year how I thought I would want to use the notes pages, and then as it turned out over the course of the year, it didn't unfold exactly like that. So I started thinking about how I wanted to use this, and I'm hoping that this will be neater than it was last year. So what I've got is YouTube videos. That is a list of YouTube videos that I want to make. Films and TV that we want to watch. A wish list. Stuff for our cottage in Wales, which I've mentioned, like things that we have to buy for it, or just basically stuff to do with that. Planner lineups, meaning I ended up having a lot of spreads in here that are kind of dispersed throughout the various notes pages about how I'm using all of my planners in any given month. And so I decided it would be nice to have a section that's dedicated just to that. So I can put in like my September planner lineup, and then write down all the planners that I'm using and what I'm using them for, and then my October planner lineup, etc., and just have them all in one place so that I can sort of see throughout the year how it grows without having to look in various different notes pages. And then I have coupon codes because that's something else that is useful to have all in one place. Then websites. So sometimes when I'm on the underground, particularly, I see an advert for a website, like for example I saw a dog sitting website and I thought, oh, that would be useful to write down, and at the moment I haven't had any dedicated place to write down those sorts of things. Sometimes I've been writing them down in this place at the bottom of the week, but then once the week has gone by, if you forget to look at the website or you don't have time to look at it, then I don't look at those old pages really, and so there's nowhere I wanted some dedicated place to put it where I could just be like, okay, anytime I see a website that I want to check out, I'll put it down here. And then I'll know that that page exists, and then I can go to it and be like, oh yeah, the dog sitting website, and not lose it because it's just fixed. So that's another one. Then I have 2017 goals. So these are like kind of personal goals, not work goals, because my work goals I have all in my work planner, but these are more things like stuff that we want to do around the house, or I'll show you, I've got a few of them written down, just like kind of other things that I want to focus on. And then I have another spread, or another section, possible planner uses, because I noticed that this is something else that I ended up writing down on multiple different occasions in various places in the notes pages here. So I thought it would be nice to have its own section. And that is basically, if, like it happens all the time, I get a planner that I'm not sure what to do with. So like, for example, my mini happy planner, which I'm really excited about and I love, but I don't know what to do with yet. Sometimes I will write down in my weeks different possible uses. Like it could be a finance planner, it could be a gratitude journal, it could be this, it could be that. And so I thought it would be nice to have all of those in one place as well. So I'll just show you what I've written so far. So this is my YouTube videos, and this is just a list of upcoming videos, which I shouldn't really show because that would reveal all of my surprises. Then the next one, so I left 5 pages for that, and that was based on the amount of space that I needed in 2016, and then I kind of gave myself an extra page just in case. It's always a bit nerve-wracking, I think, with a bound planner, having to judge the amount of space that it'll have, because you don't want to end up running out of space and then having to start a new list on the same topic somewhere else. So I'm hoping to avoid that, but also not have too many blank pages, because this is something that happened in 2016, as I ended up with quite a few blank pages, sort of in the middle of what I had assumed would be one section. So the next one is films and TV, and I've just divided this into 3 categories: cinema, home, that is things to see in the cinema, films to see at home, and then TV, and you can see there's a lot more in the TV column. And most of these are carried over from this year. So I think I only need a couple of pages for that, but I gave myself 3 pages just in case. Then I have a wish list. So the wish list is, well, it's kind of self-explanatory, I guess. It's things that I would like to buy, but that I'm right on the list in the hopes that that will kind of weed out the ones that I, don't actually need if I have some time to think about it. I didn't do very well with that this year. I ended up just buying a lot of stuff spur of the moment. So I'm hoping that I can be more disciplined about that this year and put things on the wish list. Then I have cottage. As I mentioned, we've been renovating this cottage, and we're hoping to kind of let it out as a holiday cottage. And so just things that we need, the final preparations for getting that ready. That's just 2 pages because I think that will be more than enough room. Then planner lineups, like I mentioned, I want to be able to put in, like say I've got 7 planners on the go this month, and I just want to see them all listed out and see what I'm using them for, and decide if there's anything that I'd like to add to the lineup or take away from the lineup, that sort of thing. So I've given myself a few pages for that. Then I have coupon codes, just 1 page for that, because I can probably do 2 columns. And last year I really I don't get that many coupon codes. It's really mostly from Etsy that I get them, and so it's not, I think this will be fine. Then I have websites. Again, I think 1 page is enough. Then I have 2017 goals. So this one, clear out studio. So James has a studio in our flat. It's like our spare room, and it has all of my books for work on one side of the room, and the other half is his studio, and it's just a huge mess, and it's been a goal of ours to get that cleared out for quite a while. Then get the whole of the flat repainted. So we had a few rooms repainted because it was too expensive to do the whole thing in one go, but I don't want to kind of give up on that. So I thought if I wrote it in here, then it is more likely that it will happen in 2017. Paint a rocking chair. This has been a goal for like a year. It hasn't happened yet. Fix our boiler. Our hot water heater is not good. The water does not heat well. We're always running out of hot water. It's very frustrating, and this is something I've had in mind for a long time to get fixed. And then a really exciting one is a road trip to Portugal. So James is learning to drive, and hopefully he has his test scheduled for the end of February, and hopefully after that, when he learns to drive, he is going to try to get a car. And then we thought, as a kind of really exciting adventure, because for one thing, because we never ever we haven't had a holiday in like a proper holiday where I don't work in years. So I thought it would be amazing to drive to Portugal with the boys, with Tails and Mochi, our dogs. Anyway, so that's the 2017 goals. So those are the types of things that I want to put in there. And I've left 2 pages, which was actually quite optimistic, because I can't imagine having that many goals. I don't know what I was thinking there, but I guess I just thought better safe than sorry. And then finally, I have possible planner uses. And like I mentioned, I just want this to be a place where I can list possibilities and for planners that I acquire without knowing what to do with them, and just have them all in one place. And then the rest of this is going to just be random note pages. So like, for example, if I see a recipe that I want to write down, which happens occasionally, or if I go to some event and need to write down notes, not work event, but occasionally, I don't know, just or if I see some address of something, like I saw this recycling address that I wanted to write down, so like for plastic recycling, where you can send like kind of plastic wrap and stuff that you can't recycle locally. So just random stuff that can go in the rest of the book. So I'm thinking for the planner, possible planner uses, that I'll probably leave 3 pages for that, and that means that the notes pages would start on page 25. So I'm hoping that this means that I can be quite organized and have all of my collections in one place and have enough room for them all, and then still have quite a lot of room just for the random notes. And then in the back here, I just have a picture of Panda, and I have this cut down cover. It was the cover of a personal size Fedora insert from Happy Scrappy, and it's the Planner Addict theme. So it says Planner Nerd, Planet, and it's got like pencils and planners, and I love it. And I had this in my old weeks as well. So that's there. And then for now, I've got this bookmark, but I'm not really sure, because as you can see, if you want easy access to your collections, then having this on the weekly spread means that you'd have to take it off, which is not difficult. I guess I could just do that. But I'm not sure whether it will actually be worth it or not, since I've got the bookmark. So I'm going to try this for now and see how it is. And if I find it annoying or that it's not worth it, then I'll just take it off. So that is my initial 2017 week setup. As usual, I will, come back and give you an updated tour when I've been using it for a while and some things have changed. So I hope you enjoyed this. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it, and I'll be back soon with another video.